we'll get ready to get started. Call us to order. Thank you. Mr. Branch, will you lead us in prayer, please?
Let's pray. God, we thank you for everything that you do for us. We thank you for allowing us to live in Jackson County. We thank you for every blessing, every known blessing and every unknown blessing. And we ask you tonight to lead, guide, and direct us on every decision that's made. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Motion to accept the agenda.
Mr. President, if I could, I've
Yes,
got,
sir.
3 additions under section 1. We add item 2, and under section 4, we're inserting 6 and 7. And I believe Ms. Jennifer can provide an updated agenda for each commission.
Okay.
7, move the agenda be approved with the noted additions.
Got a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. I want to say one thing before we start, if I may. Aren't we glad we live where we live? Aren't we glad that we don't have to go through some of the things that's going on in the rest of our country? And as sad as it is to say, we hadn't shot people down in places since the Civil War. So maybe that we won't come to that, and that's all I have to say. Anybody else have something they welcome? Take off. All right, let's move on.
Okay. Item number 1 under section 1, I believe Ms. Mary Carol Murdoch is here tonight to address the commission.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening. Thank you.
I'm here just a little earlier than I normally am to tell you about these things I'm going to be talking about. I have 3 separate but related items that I'd like to bring before you this evening, and it's all concerning our ad valorem property taxes. The first item is referring to a Florida statute that states if a tax deed is not applied on the unpaid 7-year-old tax certificates by June 1st of 26, they will become null and void and shall be canceled. This year, there are only 86 certificates totaling $19,178.93 that will expire if no action is taken by the board or apply for a tax deed. In comparison to last year, we had 282 certificates, and they valued at $95,000. So our numbers are lower, and so that's a good thing. There's less certificates that's going to roll off if you decide you don't want to apply for a tax deed. The second item is related. The Florida Administrative Code states that as tax collector, I am to notify you of all those 2-year-old tax certificates that are eligible to be applied for. Once the certificate is 2 years delinquent, you're eligible to apply for a tax deed. So from the 2020 through the 2024 tax certificates, there's 481 certificates totaling $72,754.28, and that's a 5-year span. Compared to last year, when I came before you, there was 1,402 certificates, and that totaled $251,000. So again, our certificates that I'm bringing before you is diminishing, and that's simply because people are applying for tax deeds, and when they do, when their certificate is 2 years old, they have to pay up all the other outstanding. So this is why these are getting paid up and kind of cleaned up. So if you want to discuss that before we move on to the third thing that I have, I would be glad to assist in any tax deed applications. I believe last year we applied for 10, and I looked them all up this week, and they all were sold to somebody else except maybe 3. 3 people came up and paid their taxes. So
And that was, those last year were based on, was that your analysis of those as far as out of all of them, which ones we
No,
applied for?
y'all decided
Did we?
which ones you wanted to, and we could prepare a big list, and you wouldn't know what you're looking for, but you could, kind of decide an area that you may be interested in, like I mentioned to somebody, a dirt pit, or something, just a certain area that you may be interested in, looking to see if there's any properties that you would like to see.
And if I could, Mr. Chairman, that would be for the 2-year-old certificates?
Well, there's those that
Any-
are 2 years old, and then there's those that are gonna just disappear come June 1st.
So if it's okay with the board, staff would like to look and see if there's any potential areas that we might need, like Ms. Mary Carroll said, a dirt pit or something like that, and let us give her those areas, and she could let us know what tax certificates.
Yeah,
are
we could
available.
get with the property appraiser's office in their mapping and get with
Okay.
somebody and,
We would like to take a look at
Okay.
that, if that's okay.
What's the board's pleasure?
I would ask another question. Out of those that are 2 years old, are most of those, historically, a lot of those have been in the Compass Lake and the Hills area? Is that still the case?
some of
or-
them are, but a lot of our applications have been in Compass Lake in the Hills. So there are a lot still in Compass Lake, because there's 6,000 lots out there.
Well, I'd offer a motion that we direct staff to get with Mary Carroll and review all of those 2 years old and those that are ready to roll off, and see if there are any that they can come up with a recommendation, any of those properties that we should apply for a tax deed.
Second? Got a motion and a second for our employees to look for that and see if there's anything that we might be interested in. Go ahead.
Question. The 7-year ones. Tell me a little more about that now. If that rolls off, if they roll off and nobody purchases them,
There will be no more certificates for that year.
If I could interject though, one thing,
Yeah.
and Ms. Mary Carroll can probably
You-
explain it better than I can. A lot of those that are rolling off also have their 6, 5, 4, 3. So even though they roll off for that 7th year, a lot of those, and I haven't checked it, but historically, a lot of those are still outstanding,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And she may be able to say it better than I am.
So it's just the taxes based on that 7th
For
year,
that
The
7th.
7-year, it just rolled off.
and that's what your
says-
calculation was based on. That-
Those
that
are my
value.
numbers. I did a list of all those unpaid, there are not 2018 taxes sold in the certificate in the year 2019. And so they are now 7 years old come June 1st of this year, so they will be null and void if we don't apply for the
Is
tax
there
deed.
a time component to this when we need to make a decision?
It just needs to be done, the application needs to be made by June 1st or before.
So there's no other explanation by the bill itself and the passing of it that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just in the Florida statute, that's what happens. Now, when you apply for tax deed, I didn't bring it up this time, but we discussed it last year, in per property, there's fees involved to apply. There's $300 in my office, and then Clay will have his fees that he has per statute, and what he can collect for his advertising and all that they do.
but didn't we vote earlier to, take like 10 pieces of property there?
Yes, we did buy some certificates this past year. I don't remember how many, but
Well,
Go ahead, Rick.
You applied on 10 last year.
That's what I thought.
The year before, you applied on 5.
right. You want to speak, Rhett?
Just real quick, so we did get the list from the property appraiser's office last year. We evaluated public access and utility availability, trying to focus on lots that would be potentially used for residential development. We purchased the 10 certificates, and then of those, they were all either paid up or purchased back.
Madam Clerk, I would like to know who the legislator was in the Senate and in the House that passed that, just for the fact of calling and speaking to them about just what they did mean.
And Mr. Chair, it was originally a 1985 bill, and then it was passed again in 2011, so I can find those out and get the information to
Thank you
this
very
week.
much. I appreciate that. And if you can, we'll share it with all the board.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Vote?
We got a motion in a second. We didn't vote on that yet, did we?
No, but we can. All in favor, signify by saying that, raising your right hand, or you can say aye, whatever. All right, move along.
Okay, all right. The third thing that I want to bring up to you is that it's advertising time for our tax certificates for 2025. That will become delinquent April 1st. And last year at the meeting, you voted to put it out for bid. I'm just here to remind you that's what you decided last year. And that is all in Chapter 50 concerning the legal publications. And so I'm coming before you a little bit earlier so that there will be time for the bidding process to take place, because
Thank you.
they advertise for 3 weeks in May before our certificate sale June 1st.
So would we limit that, the proposals, the bidders, if you will, to the 2 local papers? Or can any paper advertise, respond?
Yeah, the purpose is to get the people to locally see the paper. So if they look at other papers, I mean, I don't know why it couldn't be in other papers.
I
but
think
don't-
we did limit it to.
The maximum local participation, you would, obviously, I would think, just my opinion, would go with the local papers in order to get maximum participation. And if it's the,
Go ahead, Dr. Fire.
Sorry,
no, sir, go ahead, Mr. Fire.
I thought in the past that we did it on a rotational basis of the 2 papers that we had here.
Yes, sir, I think y'all did.
Did we not do that?
It has been on a rotational basis since, I don't know that there was even a policy of that. That's just what the past tax collectors have done.
Okay. Was the last time, was it the Graceville paper?
Yes, sir.
Your last time.
I think it was, yes, sir.
Well, then we only have 2 papers, one for most exposure, then perhaps maybe this time we do the local Jackson County Times would be.
I think what prompted that discussion and decision was the fact that the cost had gone up substantially, as I recall.
Substantially, it did.
And we were looking at potentially being able to reduce those costs by going out for bid.
I think,
Is that-
I think you're right on target. Go ahead.
Yeah, and one, it was a surprise.
Call it.
I guess you would say
Call it.
there, I'm talking about like outrageous. And the board had to come up with some extra money to pay it, because you hadn't budgeted enough to cover that. You'd budget what it's normally running, all of a sudden it just spiked up
That's right.
tremendously.
That's right.
And I think, I'm okay with rotating, but I think we need to get a price, a firm price before we go into it. Because of the spike in price that you didn't know was coming.
In that case, Mr. Chair, I call for a motion that the board authorize going out for bids on newspaper for advertising.
Okay.
And would that be to limit it to the 2 local papers, or?
I think so, because we're talking about exposing people to Jackson County, and I think we need the local papers to be involved.
That way, at least we're not wasting the Tallahassee Democrat or some other paper's time to put in a proposal if it's our intent to stay with the local.
And Mr. Chair, the statute actually requires that it be one of the newspapers of general circulation within your county.
So it pretty much limits it anyway.
Correct.
I need a second to that motion. I got a second, Mr. Crutchfield. All in favor of just what, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. All right,
Next item, Mr. Chair.
you finished?
I am
Very well.
finished,
Thank
and
you,
we
ma'am.
will
Thank you
Rhett be
very
the
much.
one to get with us, or on
We'll
those
get
properties?
with you.
Okay,
Red or myself will get with you.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for being prompt. All right.
Rick, next item, Mr. Westbrook, this is the addition, the first addition, which is, to number 2 to section 1. This is a request for board adoption of resolution authorizing the sale of the surplus property that we, sold, out at the, at the Endeavor, which was the, cottage to Chrome Industries. We're just asking the board to approve resolution that authorizes that sale.
What's the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion to approve, I have a second.
Second.
Got a second from Dr. Spires. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Unanimous, go ahead.
Mr. Westbrook, this is our public hearing section of the agenda, where we would go into a public hearing. And the public hearing tonight is, on the CDBG Small Cities application, if you want to.
Yes. All right, we'll go into that. Murdoch had a place to go together.
This is the opportunity for the public to comment on the financial, environmental, or any other aspect of the project which we are proposing. The project would be a water well and elevated water storage tank, is the CDBG project that we would be pursuing.
Any questions? Mr. Melvin, Mr. Engineer, we need to.
We haven't selected a.
Okay. I thought he had. Yeah, well. No comment? Okay,
I believe we have a hand online.
could be. They didn't have that at that long, too. Do we have somebody online?
Yes, this is Tanya Lindback.
Okay,
The last meeting, we had talked about the placement of the well, and it was going to be basically around the southeast side of the mill pond. Is that correct?
You mind if I respond to that?
go right ahead, Mr. Dean. Don't listen to you.
There were two aspects to the project, one of them being the elevated storage tank,
Yeah.
which would be located in the approximate area that's being referenced here, but the well site has not been determined. And once we get to that stage, we would engage the services of a professional engineer to make those decisions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Did you hear him fine?
I did, thank you. I was just curious about, whether we're going to have hydrologists take a look and make sure that the level of the mill pond wouldn't go down as a result of a well too close.
Well, that stuff you saw on Facebook today is not a lot of validity in that. My experience from about 49, almost 50 years would tell you that our aquifer comes with a big part from the Appalachian mountain chain, and it replenishes itself during this time of the year as soon as the snow melts on top of some of those mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So with all, degree of respect to anybody that brings that up, I drill in the Floridian aquifer almost every day. We didn't today very long because it was so cold, but anyway, we even though I know that they saying that the mill pond has fallen somewhat, that's not unusual. We just haven't noticed it up until now, I'm sure, but the artesian pressures there at the head of the mill pond at Blue Springs is not as strong. I don't know that. I haven't seen whether it was measured or anything, but provided we have to, we will go into that. We would protect our groundwater at all corners. Every person up here would be affected as well as everybody in the audience. So we will be very aware of that as we move along.
Thank you. That's my biggest concern about it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's okay. Concerned people get things done sometimes.
Yes, sir.
We thank you for calling. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else?
I've got another one online.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, this is Sally Baptist. Are you familiar with the House Bill 479, which is a water bill that would really limit the options the municipalities have We're actually, you might not be able to do this in the near future if we don't do something to stop this House Bill 479. This and like Live Local, they keep taking away the rights from local government. So I'm curious, are you familiar with that? And I mean, hopefully you are, and that you would want, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of bills in Tallahassee, but there'll only be a percentage of it passes when they get the pros and cons with them. But go ahead, if you're familiar with it, you can tell us.
Well, I can read part of it right off the top here. Says a bill that to an act relating to land and water management creating S 373-027 FS prohibiting counties and municipalities from adopting a law, regulation, rule, policy, or ordinance that prohibits adjacent upland activities that are outside certain wetland buffers, providing applicable and construction, repealing 373-591 FS relating to management review teams, providing an effective date. And again, the main thing is prohibiting the limitations they're putting on local municipalities on the control. And this is just, a short summary of it, what they have in here. But little by little, Tallahassee keeps wanting to take over municipalities. And I don't know if the Association of Counties is fighting this stuff. Somehow we need to protect the rights of municipalities, if I can say it. Because I don't want the state running everything. And I don't know, truthfully, with what you're doing right now here, if this thing passes, how would this block or impact you? I would like to know if it would, because maybe this one wouldn't even let you do what you're trying to do right now, if they're granted this authority.
Yes, ma'am. We're having a hard time understanding you. Nothing wrong with what you're doing, probably wrong with us can't hear as well, but anyway.
I would just say
You
that
recognize
it may not be a bad idea to ask Mr. Dean to contact Florida Association of Counties and ask them if they've had a chance to study House Bill 429 and see if it's something that we should be concerned with and if it could potentially have some adverse impact on what we're hoping to do.
Yeah, and I would comment further. There's a tremendous amount of irrigation wells that pump a lot more water, especially in the northern and eastern part of our county. And so there'll be a lot of indication from all those. And you have to have a water use permit before you can, and as well as a permit to drill those. But it'll be a good idea of what you're saying. Nothing beats studying something better, in my opinion. So we will attest to that.
Okay, real quick, just to correct, it's 479, House Bill 479, not 429. Just to make sure you know. Thank you.
And if it's okay with the board, we will reach out to the Florida Association of Counties and get them to brief us on the House Bill 479.
Just need consensus on that.
That's up to you, Mr. Chair.
I'll offer a motion that we direct staff to look into House Bill 479 and reach out to the Florida Association of Counties for some input from them as to whether this will adversely impact counties and specifically our well project that we're hoping to do.
We have a motion and a second to ask them to explore this further, and we thank you. If that's all you got, we'll vote. All in favor of the motion and a second, signify by saying, raising a hand. Okay, all pass. You have anything else, ma'am?
Thank you. Not on this subject. I don't know if there's any other open comment, but not on this subject. Thank you.
If there's no other comments, we'll close the public hearing.
Yes, we'll close it. It's closed. We'll move on. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ready for the next item, Mr. Chair? Next item.
Yes, please.
Under section 4, the consent agenda, paid bills, approval of right-of-way use permits, and there's several TDC items on there for approving the sponsorships and also appointment to the board and appointment to the museum committee.
Since I'm on the TDC, I'm fairly familiar with most of these items. I'll offer a motion that the consent agenda be approved, as submitted.
Got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda for the TDC. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move on.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item, item number 2 is, request board approval to award the, bid 252607. This is to resurface the parking lot out at the Ag Complex on Penn Avenue. It would just be the front and the 2 sides. It would not be the back parking lot back behind the building. This was a capital item that was identified. There are dollars in the reserve account for that building to accomplish this. There were multiple bids. As you can see, there was one of the bids was much lower than the other bracketed 3. And we're asking the board to allow us to negotiate with the low bidder. And if we can't negotiate a acceptable contract, we would negotiate with the second low bidder.
And so the point of negotiation would be starting with the 90,000 bid amount, make sure, I guess you've talked to Hollister and they feel like they've got, everything covered as far as, thickness of asphalt and what the scope of the work is.
Yes, sir. And make sure that we are all on the same page before we would engage their services.
Is that a bonded job?
No, sir, it wouldn't require bond.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion, got a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, the same sign. Move on.
Mr. Chair, the next item, number 3, is to request board approval to enter into an agreement with a digital entertainment and communication systems with IC Solutions. Their contract, their services are on a cooperative bidding process, such as Sourcewell, state contract, and Florida Sheriff's Association. And the county currently uses Secures Technology, and the Federal Communications Commission has changed the guidelines under which how we can charge for those communication services, whether it be audio or video phone calls. And based on the recent change, it would drastically reduce the revenue that is generated by that service that we provide to inmates. And so we have met with and discussed with IC Solutions a process to replace what we currently use now. And it would provide additional services, not just the audio and video calls that inmates make. It would provide a service that they could purchase books to read online and things of that nature. Again, the provider services are offered through a cooperative, previously competitively bid process, similar to the state contract and to the Sheriff's Association and Sourcewell. And we're asking the board to approve.
So, just so I understand, I didn't really get a chance to talk to you about this, but this is a service that we're already providing to the inmates.
Yes, sir.
And the inmates, to secure the service, pay the county a fee of some sort. And the FCC has said that we can't charge a high enough fee to really compensate for the cost of the service, so we're going to a different company.
The rate changes drastically, yes, sir. And plus, the new service would provide additional services rather than just an audio or a video call. And Chief Jeter's here if we need to if the commission would like to ask Chief any questions, but it is a replacement of an existing service.
And is this is this budgeted for this year, or is it, how will it be paid for?
The actual service does not cost us anything. They come and they install all of the equipment at no cost to the county. And so it is not a cost to the county.
And you feel pretty comfortable with the company that you've been negotiating with?
Yes, sir. So this is what funds our inmate welfare fund. So with the FCC coming with these regulations nationwide, it's cut it down dramatically how much we get. So we're bringing in the tablets and they can, you know, get the books and stuff. They can use legal resources and all. We'll get a lot better commission off of that, and that's how we'll make our money to fund the
Is
county.
there some control over books that are available?
Yes, I don't know the rating of the books, but the movies they can do are PG. So
Know how to make a bond books?
what's that?
Know how to make a bond?
No, they won't like that. We'll build everything.
Mr. Branch, you recognize?
Do we still have the capability of recording?
Yes, so everything's the same, and actually the technology will be dramatically improved with this company. You know, right now, I know the court system had issues with the video visits and stuff. Now, with their technology, if their face turns or something and, you know, it stays on their head, if it changes in 1 second, the picture goes off and, you know, they can't show anything improper, anything, you can't see a mace behind them. They also are going to give us a mail service free where they will, you know, a lot of the correction agencies are going to us now state and all where the mail is mailed to them. They scan it in and they send it into the kiosk. And the reason for that is us, along with a lot of other correction facilities, having issues right now with, you know, paper soaked in drugs that you ain't got no detection of, and, you know, coming in. So it'll solve that problem for us also.
I'll offer a motion to approve the agreement and authorize you, Mr. Westbrook, as the chairman, to sign it.
I can sign it. Second. I need a second. Got a second. Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item is a request for board approval to purchase leased Caterpillar motor graders from the Caterpillar Finance. If the commission will remember, several months ago, the commission agreed to allow staff to terminate the lease with Caterpillar Finance. And then we turned around and would purchase 5 new graders through the Florida Association of Counties Finance Program. And as a part of that process, we did ask the board and we recommended to the board to let us just turn the Caterpillar graders back into Caterpillar Finance. However, based on a lot of legwork done by a lot of people on staff, I think Rhett led the charge on this, but the Caterpillar Thompson tractor has offered the county the ability to take those graders off lease, and then they would turn around and purchase those graders from the county. What we would like to do is take and purchase the graders off lease and then turn around and sell 4 of those 5 graders back to Thompson Tractor. We would keep 1 of them, and the amount of money that we would make off of the sale to Thompson Tractor, plus Thompson Tractor has agreed to purchase and then resell the old motor grader we have, which is 15 plus years old. And they've given us a guaranteed price on this. And if you take the money that we would make off of selling the 4 motor graders from Caterpillar Finance and the sale of the old motor grader, we would actually get that 5th motor grader that we've been using for 5 years. We would buy it at no cost. We'd actually not have to come up with any money out of our pocket. And if you understand that, then you're probably doing good tonight. It's pretty complicated, but
Basically, we end up with a grader at no cost.
that's exactly a newer grader
Newer grader.
at no cost.
You go over and go around the courthouse and come back.
Yes, sir. So we're asking the board to approve that process. It allows us to get a guaranteed fixed price on the tractor, the graders that were taken off lease via the sale to Thompson Tractor.
What's the board?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the purchase of the motor graders and the sale to Thompson Tractor Company.
Got a motion. Got a second, Mr. Crutchfield. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Okay. Moving on, the next item, Mr. Westbrook, is change order number 1. This is associated with Project Blue Sky on Mashburn Road. It's been around for a number of years. The project was to put a business on a lot, and the county received funding from the U.S. Economic Development Administration as well as CDBG funding. And the CDBG funding, of course, had strings attached where there had to be jobs created. We have gone through several businesses because the business has to sign a participating party agreement promising to create so many jobs, and if you don't, then there's clawbacks. You have to pay that money back. But since the last company has dropped out, the commission agreed to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Woodall's to go into a building that once it's built, they would lease it from us. This change order tonight allows us to change the size of the building because the CDBG money is being reduced and the EDA, Economic Development Administration money, the money has not changed, but the percentage of grant towards the total project cost is increased. So in what they originally approved, that the money would be approximately 40 to 60% of the total project cost. Well, now they've verbally agreed that we could change it to 80% of the total project cost. We go to a smaller building. The total cost is reduced by over $1 million. And this change order also adds the number of days to the contract so that it will accommodate the actual construction of the building. So we're extending the time. We're reducing the grant amount because CDBG modified theirs and the commission has already approved the amendment to that grant agreement to where we would not have to pay any CDBG money back, no matter how many jobs we create.
And so the only cost to the county will be that 20%.
Actually, that 20% is covered by the CDBG money.
I got it.
And then the 80% is covered by the EDA money.
So I know that an architectural firm was hired, I think by DHM to design the original building. They'll come in and do the redesign, and all of that is included in that cost.
And Mr.
Yes,
Melvin,
it's all in that cost. We're actually gonna let the contractor kind of do the design build, work with Woodall.
Go ahead, Doc.
And Mr. Woodall is okay with reducing the size of the building?
that is the size that he really wanted. He didn't need the
He didn't need the big
50,000 square foot. And this, if the commission approves this, it would be subject to EDA's written consent.
What's the board's pleasure? Chairman, I'll offer a motion to approve the change order pending EDA approval and authorize you as chairman to sign.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Bryant, all in favor, raise your hand. Opposed, same sign.
The next item, Mr. Westbrook, is the first edition. This is to request board approval of the adaptation planning task order with Dewberry Engineers. If the commission would remember, the county was successful at receiving just over $500,000 in grant fundings to perform this adaptation planning. And we actually entered into an agreement with Dewberry Engineering. This is the task order that they have sent us in order to kick off and start the actual process. And so we're asking for board approval of the task order.
Chairman, move approval.
Got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bryant. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Moving on.
Mr. Westbrook, this next item is the request for board approval of a purchase of 3-year Microsoft Enterprise service agreement. This is actually, like it says, a 3-year process where we will be renewing over 150 user license with our Microsoft Office teams. And each year, this is a budgeted item, and it's $57,450 for the next 3 years. But again, this renews all the licensing for the computers that are used by all the and I'm assuming it's for the constitutional offices as well. So this does renew those licensing for us.
I think I see Clay shaking his head. It may not be for the.
Yeah, I don't think it's for us.
not for the clerk.
This is Fred. It just covers the Board of Commissioners, offices and employees.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure?
And you said this is a budgeted item,
Yes,
and we budgeted enough to cover the cost.
yes.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item is a request to use Citizens Lodge at no cost by the Jackson County Education Foundation. They do their annual glow run out there at the lodge. And historically, we have waived those fees. Ms. Joelle Roberts was not able to make it tonight, but we're asking the board to approve the request.
A motion to approve the request to waive the rental fees.
Got a motion. Gotta have a second. Second from Mr. Bryant. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item, number 9, this is a request to the board to provide direction on bidding of the health insurance and the property and casualty insurance, along with having assistance from a third party to help us with that process. And looking for board's direction.
Okay, what's the board's pleasure?
I move that we approve that.
Got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Question, you mentioned assistance from a third party. Are there costs associated with that?
Yes, sir. It would cost us to have a third party help us prepare the RFP and also provide an proposal / for the board to be have a presentation made and evaluate apples to apples and oranges to oranges, because when you're doing the insurances, especially at my experience on the health insurance, there's a lot of different moving parts, and we would have someone ensure that whenever y'all get the proposals, those have been adequately evaluated.
It's just something customarily done.
In other municipalities, yes, sir.
No, in Jackson County.
As far as the evaluation of health insurance
Third party involvement.
and health insurance, I'm not sure how long it's been, Mr. Spires, since there's been a RFP for health insurance. So I'm not familiar with that. I don't know the answer to that.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
Come forward. Michael John.
How's everybody tonight?
Good.
Good news.
I'm Michael John Milton. I'm here on behalf of the Century Foundation Risk Partners. We have offered are offering our services as agents, consultants to put the bid packet together. We have a timeline established. Worked with the county a long time on this. And also remind the board that you have a contract with Florida Blue. Should you go through the process and you're successful in getting a better bid than you have with your current carrier, you would be required to pay back the $35,000 of wellness funding that was received last year.
And all that could be taken into account in the evaluation and the determination of who we select.
Yeah.
I would assume.
We'd go through the process and meet with the board, meet with the insurance committee, and evaluate the plans, any of the responses that came in, and give a recommendation back to the board.
So you actually are offering that as the third party service.
Correct. And
Would
we
you
have,
be-
we have the resources, we have the expertise. Foundation Risk Partners is the top 20 in the nation.
Would you be bidding it yourself or your company?
We have the bid packet that we would forward to Sarah. We can't do it for you, but we can facilitate the process. We would forward it to HR tomorrow and she can tweak it. We can send it out. We've got a timeline on the meetings. If you want me to go over that, I can. Today, January 28th, send it out. February 2nd, RFP is finalized in newspaper posting. 16th of February, RFP posted on the county website. March 23rd, provide updated claims data. March 30th, All proposals are due from carriers April 6th. Provide spreadsheet comparison of all proposals and pricing, the county insurance and or scoring committee. April 7th. A Century will you have in-person presentations if needed. Request carrier, best and final offer. April 14th, set up commission meeting, recommendation for approval.
So that's a timeline that you've come up with that, basically comply with the RFP process and get to a point that we can make a decision on who the provider would be
That's correct. At no cost to the county.
at no cost to the county.
Mr. Branch,
I thought he just said it was a cost associated.
Mr. Branch,
Maybe I'm bad.
I think, the chairman asked though, would your company be part of the RFQ bidding process?
We would bid yes, we're the current agent on Florida Blue. We would definitely bid, sure.
But you would analyze it and also bid on it?
We can assist your insurance committee, your HR department, in comparing the different bids. But we would bid on it.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Dr.
Then I'm reading two different pages. I thought you said there was a cost associated with this. And
Yeah.
He said there is.
Well, the way that my experience, Mr. Spires, you would get an independent third party to look at it and there would be cost associated with it. But like Mr. Milton said, that if they do it, then there would be no, cost associated with it.
Usually you don't have a consultant for conflict of interest purposes also be the one that sets out your scope of services. That's why it'd be recommended, I think like the county administrator said, to have a third party independent entity that's not gonna also bid on it to assist you.
Go ahead, Ms. Crutcher.
I think there would need to be a third party because reason why is sometimes it may be a cheaper price, but it may not be quality service. You know, you come into, I've run into that before personally myself. You know, you go with a cheaper price on insurance, saving money, but first thing you know, either they cancel, you didn't know they were canceled, even the agent didn't know it's canceled. And you know, you just walk in there to have a service and they say, you don't have any insurance. And it's not caused non-payment. It's just, they decided not to do it. Well, you know, we ended up with a Florida Blue and I know some experience that I've had, it costs a little more money, but we never had a problem there on.
Yeah.
So that's what you gotta look at too. You don't wanna get into something that's gonna maybe save you a little money, but it's gonna cost you on the other end.
And having a third party look at it, you're talking about a service that costs the county approximately $6 to $7 million. So to have someone look at it, is kind of like if you buy a piece of land, surely you're gonna get title insurance on it. And so this is kind of the way that my personal opinion, I'm looking at it is, I don't want us to make a mistake if we decide to go in that direction.
And that's what I feel.
Mr. Chair, in
Ma'am, go ahead.
having an independent third party too, you eliminate the issue with bid protest after the fact for a competitive disadvantage argument that they could raise if someone helped you with the scope and then they bid on the scope.
Well, we're here to assist and whatever, recommendation you have, whatever decision you make, I will provide any and all information that we can and, assist you in the process.
I have no problem with some of y'all doing it, but just the appearance of it don't look.
That's
good.
fine.
And,
It's your decision. It's an offer that we've made.
and we appreciate that.
Well, we make a living being honest with folks and I've been here a long time, been a trusted source. So, if that's your decision, I understand.
Anybody else?
No, so do we have any idea what this, independent third party consultant
I
will
don't have a firm price, but I would assume it would cost us approximately $20,000 for the health insurance and approximately the same to evaluate the property and casualty.
And, again, I think in evaluating the responses, it's like Commissioner Crutchfield said, you've got to take everything into account. It's not just the cheapest price that may be the most beneficial to the county and to the county's employees. And, hopefully we can, get through the weeds to be able to determine, what that best choice is. Do you want to, contact, do you have somebody in mind? Is there?
I would reach out to the company that I've used, that the city used in the past. They've got a number of municipalities and counties that they perform that process for.
You want to give approval based on, not to exceed amount? If it comes back and it costs $100,000, well, then, I may be willing to take up Michael John on his offer. But if it's, more in the range that you talked about, then it may be worthwhile. But it can certainly be, I'd like to know what that cost is going to be before we pull the trigger on it. Dr. Fire.
This board has notoriously advocated the bid process to make sure things was equitable. Why would we want to forego the bid process in this case?
Forego the bid process. We would still go through the bid process, Mr. Spires.
Okay.
We would just, once those proposals come in, evaluating, like just because it's been said, look, my cost to the county would be $50,000. Well, but there could be things associated with that.
So the firm that will be chosen to help us will be chosen through the bid process.
Help us through the bid process and evaluating.
No. The firm that will assist us in going through the insurance evaluation, will that firm be chosen through the bid process?
Help us through the bid process?
For the bid,
Yeah.
the examination of it, would we bid that out?
No, sir, we don't have to.
No, we have to. I've said this board has consistently said, let's bid, let's give everybody the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And now we're talking about going away from that. And that's why I have the problem.
So you're talking about the consultant itself?
Yes,
The consultant that we're talking about potentially hiring.
precisely.
To actually go through an RFQ process to hire the consultant.
Exactly.
To evaluate the other consultants.
To be consistent, what we've been doing.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. I don't think an exception can be made in this case.
Say it again.
I don't think an exception should be made in this case. We've been emphasizing the bid process, RFPs and those kinds of things. Why don't we change now?
What's the board pleasure? Want to vote?
I move that I make a motion that we send a RFQ out for evaluators.
Consultants that evaluate municipal insurance.
And put together and also put together the RFP itself too, potentially.
And I'll second that motion, Chairman.
If I could.
You go ahead.
In the RFP process, if it is, according to our procurement policy, if it is less than $50,000, we can reach out to the known consultants that provide that service and obtain quotes for them.
But I think this board has the prerogative to make an exception in that case.
Yes, sir. You wrote the policy, so absolutely.
Okay.
So, but again, clarification, Mr. Spires, on what you're saying. Are you saying we would do a RFQ with a written publicized proposals, or would we do it according to our policy?
Whatever the procedures have been in the past, we've secured these proposals.
Okay.
Let's just follow that.
Follow that
procedure.
policy.
That's what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying.
And then they
Yes,
would
ma'am.
evaluate.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I put down to speak on this. My name is Susan Copeland. So I'm understanding with the insurance it's the health insurance, because you didn't have that on the thing. I wanted to ask that question, but now that I know it's about the health insurance, for people that might want to come to work, like Willie Spire said, are you going to bid out one person to do all the consulting on what company you're going to pick? Am I understanding that right?
If I could, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We're talking about health insurance and property, casualty, auto, and liability insurance. Two different types of insurance.
Okay, that was kind of it was kind of like a
Yes,
joint
yes,
question.
ma'am.
So you didn't mention the other part. So when you say the property, like if somebody, like something gets damaged, you know, in the county, am I understanding that right, Mr.
Yes,
D?
ma'am, like a building, if you had a windstorm and it damaged the building, and that's the kind of insurance that.
Would it be the same thing on the roads, the county roads, like if a tree fell on a vehicle? Just asking.
I'm not an insurance expert.
Is that what that means?
Okay.
Okay, I was just asking because if you're
If
going,
the insurance carrier determines that the county was, it is a viable case or a viable claim.
so it would still, if I'm understanding, whoever y'all go with, it would still have to go the process through them?
If there's someone runs over a pothole and it damaged their tire, well, they make a claim against the county, and then we would turn that over to our insurance carrier, who would determine if that claim is a valid claim or not.
Now, with y'all picking this, when y'all go to vote on it, are y'all gonna be able to, like, if a company like there has exclusions, like, you know what I'm saying, that they have like things that they don't cover? So are y'all going to look at that when you evaluate this plan? Like, are y'all gonna look at like,
That's
do
what
they,
the evaluator would look at.
so y'all wouldn't vote on that, it would be the evaluator?
We would vote on the recommendation, I think, from that evaluator,
Okay,
my understanding.
so if there's like exclusions in
The
it,
process that we're talking about going through right now
okay,
is to go through an RFQ process to hire a consultant to help us put together an RFQ or RFP for both health insurance services and property and casualty services. They would put together an RFP, we would have responses, that same consultant would then evaluate all of the responses for both insurance types of insurance and come back with a recommendation to this board that we would either agree with or not agree with.
and then it's my last question. Then will it go out if y'all don't agree with none of the ones that's come back? Will it go out for another bid? Or will y'all just keep the same one?
Well, that'll depend on the policy. that we-
Okay.
Well,
Like you just said, like you would, if you don't agree with none of them, would it go out for another bid or would you keep the same policy?
Potentially. I would say potentially,
Keep the same policy?
potentially.
Okay,
This board would have that capability, I would think.
okay, all right, thank you.
all right, we got a motion and a second.
Are you?
Three minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Can't you say about
Well, I
everything
just
you
got a
know in about
question.
3 minutes?
I've just got a question.
Go right ahead.
So you're talking about different lines of coverage, talking about different licenses, different qualities, different qualifications. Are you bidding it out through one consultant for all lines of coverage? Are you going through a licensed agent that is in the property and casualty, workers' comp, et cetera, and then somebody that handles benefits?
If I understand your question right, that would be in the policy and where we're gonna bid or not. Looks to me like.
If
but
I
maybe
could,
I'm-
if I
Go ahead.
could,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Westbrook, if I would envision us doing first, we're gonna do a RFP to acquire the services of a professional consulting firm to help us through that process.
Per line of coverage?
To help us obtain coverage for health insurance and benefits associated with health insurance. And then there would be another RFP for property and casualty.
Okay, so
Separate.
more than likely, two separate consultants.
No, it could be the same consultant.
Okay.
In other words, what you're asking, Michael John, is would there be one consultant for the health and then another consultant for the property and casualty?
Correct.
You're envisioning one consultant to be able to look at and analyze the responses for both.
Yes.
That
So you're
should
talking
take care of
about a lot of-
itself.
Several lines of coverage.
That should take care of itself. All right? Got a motion.
Now, when you made your offer,
I'm gonna let you.
you were proposing to
The benefit.
analyze both, right?
Benefits.
Just benefits?
And we have agents that are licensed property and casualty that could handle that, yes. They could.
I think the point that you're talking about is that if you got two different bids and one bid puts out a lot more coverage. This other one puts out less coverage, but it's gonna be a cheaper price. That's what the consultant's supposed to be in it, which is the best way to go.
No matter what.
They're not looking at the cost. They're looking at the best insurance, I think.
Looking at the best package.
Yeah, best package. And so that should cover potholes, whatever the miss was talking about, where one insurance might not cover it, the other one would, you know.
Well, you basically,
Question,
if you had one office agency with different agents, they could potentially provide the services. Because typically, if you have an agent that's specialized in benefits, they may not even be licensed for PNC, or if they are, it's gonna be hard to be the best in both worlds, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, I just had a question. That's all.
But there possibly is somebody out there that might be familiar enough with both types of insurance that could provide that service. And I guess that's one of the things that we'll look at when we go.
It would be a big agency, I'm
Mr.
sure.
Brett, I would hope that we would determine that when we're looking at the RFP for the appraiser or the, consultant, the expertise. If he has that expertise, fine, and if he don't, we're gonna look at somebody else.
So I've got another question while I'm standing here listening and thinking about it. Is my 3 minutes up yet?
You go ahead, just speed it up.
So would a Century of Foundation Risk Partners be eligible to offer on the PNC?
I think that'd be a question.
Since we're not the agent on the PNC?
It would depend on how you structure the scope of services for your RFP, and if you're looking for a full package of someone who covers everything versus someone who just covers bits and pieces of it. So it would really depend.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just don't think it would, to be totally honest, I don't think it'd look good for you to do it and you bid on the package that you're consulting on.
We don't have the PNC.
But I'm saying, if you did, I don't think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that would be appropriate.
I got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move along.
Okay, the last item on the agenda, Mr. Westbrook, is the ranking and potential selection of a county attorney. I believe that we provided a ranking sheet. We'd like to collect those and let us tally those numbers. Please, Ms. Tyler's going to do that for us. And then we would ask Mr. Humphrey to validate it and provide the results to the board and let the board discuss it and take it from there.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, I know this sounds silly, but there's actually case law out there that while they're being tallied, you have to stay in session. You can't take a break, even while they're getting tallied.
That's it right there, backside of that.
I feel the other one. Is this the one you want?
Got it on the backside.
Or you're not gonna find it? That was too difficult.
Yeah, while we're doing that, can we want to reset? No, we can't recess. And so probably just, we can discuss other items, can't we?
Yeah, you can definitely discuss other items, and then he just needs to read
I'd
it.
just like to ask Rhett, is Rhett still there?
He stepped away for.
Yeah, we can probably answer this question. Hartsfield Road, I know that we've had conversations about, Hartsfield Road, a number of conversations. If we've been able to make any progress with, talking to Anderson Columbia about, putting a tack coat on that last section?
I went out and measured the length and the width the other day. It's like 2,600. Got a half a mile, like 3 foot wide. We're gonna go out and smooth it out. It's too cold this week for them to be applying the tack coat. Hopefully next week it'll warm up some and they're gonna come out and spray it. It's gonna cost roughly $4,000.
Is,
See how it works.
do we have a pretty good idea of what the application rate should be? I mean,
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a 0.15 application rate that we put on it.
And then, after it's applied, it's pretty quick when it can be opened up for traffic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it breaks back, I'd say, 30 minutes.
Okay.
We want you to be the first car down. We want you to be the first car that goes down.
Been down that road many a times anyway, it seems like.
I use it all the time.
Anything else?
Anybody got anything? Are y'all done now?
I do have a question
That's what the auctioneer said. Go ahead.
for Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Have we looked at the, looking at someone to fix that place in Cypress?
We're putting together quotes on about 4 or 5 different spots.
I knew you were, I didn't know how far along we were.
It should be ready for by next week.
Go ahead, Mr.
Oh,
Crabtree.
Jeffrey, you know when we might get a grader on Drake Leary operator?
Man told me in my district, all the roads need to grade it up there.
Yeah, we've been without one, well, off and on, back without one right now, full time, other than the supervisor or getting somebody to come in. Basically, you know, but luckily with the dry weather, hadn't had as many calls as it would have normally had, so one little bit, we're getting some help from another another grader or Derek doing it. We kind of, halfway staying up with it.
He goes up there, it's not a shine, goes up, trying to cover it.
Yeah.
A little more in there, I thought it.
Okay.
Go
I guess
ahead,
it's a
Dr.
pick
Fowler.
on Mr. Register theory here. Would you please take a look at the bridge on Highway 162? The center line is really almost invisible to see at night, because it was rainy. Okay. Okay, thank you. But I don't agree. Yeah.
And all the roads in District 5.
Yeah.
They say it's a certain amount of little boy in everybody. That's what Hank Aaron said.
Had any resolutions of the Farm Service Agency?
Had not got back. I was a little slow in getting the letter. There,
It's been sent.
I got pleaded guilty that I was slow on it, but, it's gonna happen.
So this is a letter to that agency.
Yes, sir.
Full time.
Not only that agency, but to the congressman and the senator as well. And, I met with them last Tuesday, I believe it was, and it's just as big a mess as it's ever been. Go ahead.
Mr. Brooks, if I could, I put a copy of the letter from USDA in front of each commissioner. And it was the per 7 CFR 759.5, little A. There has been a designating of Florida counties with primary natural disaster areas due to recent droughts. And Jackson County is one of the primary counties. So it might be something worth sharing with your constituents. And we'll put something out on social media as well.
What impact might this have?
Drought, could have been the peanuts, could have been, cotton, could have been a bunch of things.
I mean, would there be some financial?
Yes, sir, and it goes into that letter, Mr. Don Pro, that potential financial assistance through FSA Farm Service Agency.
Yeah, it goes back.
Good luck. Good luck. Some of it's been going on for 2 years now. pitiful. And the ag lady that's in charge now in the United States, her family are agriculture people. I don't guess it matters. They shouldn't advertise something they're not gonna get done. Whether they're gonna listen to me or not, it doesn't.
Yeah, Rhett, one more.
Sure, go right ahead.
Hey, Rhett, on Citizens Lodge, I know that we had started kind of a small minor renovation project. Where are we with that?
The main room and the kitchen part complete.
Can't hardly hear you now.
The main room and the kitchen part complete. We started installing the security cameras today, to get the exterior of the facility under a watchful eye. And, so the bathroom portion will be next to put some new covering down on top of the existing, whatever it is. Try to paint the current stall walls, and new fixtures and everything like that. So still underway, but they're working every day.
Think it'll be done for spring?
Oh, they'll say it, cold weather, we finally got some, so they'll be in there next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Mr. Nix, I'm ready. You ready to do it? Announce the, I got it. You want me just to read the winner, or you want me to read all rankings?
Mr. Westbrook, we want Mr. Pumphrey to read all six, the ranking order, all six, in the order that they're ranked.
Okay.
I think you qualify.
Okay. Number one ranked is Casey Bigelow. Number two ranked is Knowles and Randolph. Nathan Nolan was number 3. Marcus Green was number 4. Blankenship Jordan, number 5, and the Hartman firms, number 6.
Read those one more time.
Okay. Mr. Casey Bigelow 1, Knowles and Randolph 2, Mr. Nathan Nolan 3, Marcus Green 4, Blankenship Jordan 5, and then the Hartman Law Firm 6.
And
That's what you have.
if the board approves this ranking and authorizes, Mr. Dean and staff to, enter into some sort of negotiation, is that with the top ranked firm? I mean, that would be the.
Well, I mean, and Ms. Carey can jump in if she wants to, but I mean, that's up to the board. If whoever y'all recommend me to.
What's the board's pleasure?
When we went through a ranking, and if you go through that process, you don't abide by it, I would offer a motion that we go ahead and approve the ranking, including, Casey Bigelow as the top ranked firm, and authorize, Mr. Dean to, enter into some negotiations, pertaining to, his employment.
There's a motion. We got a second? Got a second.
If you can.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were
If
second.
it
Go ahead.
don't come up with an agreement on a person, they drop
Get a
second, third. I second.
I would say you work all the way down.
So you want to amend your motion to put that in there too?
I'll amend
All
my
right.
motion to include it.
All
Negotiation.
right there with that. Yeah. All in favor?
You'll get a second?
Motion, I'll second.
I second.
He's second. Believe it or not, I still got it.
No, I just,
Signify by raising your right hand. All approved. Getting unanimous decision.
I think it ought to be said that we appreciate, all of the firms
I
applying. We had, a number of, good qualified candidates to serve from, and, anytime you're making a decision, when you're trying to select, any type of professional from a group of qualified professionals, it's difficult, but I think it's the most fair way to approach it. So thank all of y'all for your interest in it.
We appreciate coming from the chair as well. The vice chair, we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you participating. We're glad to see you again, both of y'all, see 2 of y'all here. All right. Bet you go fast. You move it right.
I did.
Don't move it right.
Do what you do.
Okay.